There are moments in life when one's very existence seems to slip through one's fingers, and that is exactly what happened to John Miller. Like a Buddhist monk who, in his quest for ancient wisdom, plunges into deep meditation until he transcends the limits of the physical body, John found himself hovering above his inert form. He saw the scene with impressive clarity, his fragile, motionless body and his wife in absolute despair, as if the world around them had collapsed. The vision, although anguished, was enveloped in an unexpected sense of serenity, as though Buddhist secrets and traditional medicine were there, whispering that there is something beyond the pain. In that instant, John began his journey towards spiritual well-being, realizing that true detoxification of both body and soul occurs precisely when we free ourselves from the fear that limits us. But make no mistake, dear friend, this detachment was not coldness or indifference. On the contrary, it was as if Buddhist wisdom about longevity and graceful aging was being revealed in a vivid and unquestionable way. The love that John felt in that moment was not ordinary. It was a love that healed, that purified, that offered the mental clarity necessary to see beyond the hectic routine of modern life. Just as Buddhist monks teach, he experienced a profound transformation of his emotional health, as if his being were undergoing a true spiritual detox. The sight of his anguished wife awakened not only compassion, but also a silent strength, as if natural remedies and herbal medicine were working from the inside out, guiding him toward complete self-care. Even while floating between dimensions, John understood that he was experiencing one of the ancient secrets about life extension and holistic healing. He felt bathed in a field of serene energy, as if ancestral mindfulness practices and alternative medicine were working in unison to revitalize not only his body, but also his weary soul. It was as if every breath he took in that suspended state was filled with the vitamins of spiritual life, with superfoods for the soul, propelling a rejuvenation of his skin and an increase in vital energy that only the deepest self-care practices can provide. This initial moment of John's journey is a powerful reminder that even in the most critical situations, the paths of natural healing and Buddhist wisdom reveal themselves to those who seek to live a healthy and complete lifestyle. In the tradition of Buddhist monks, there is an ancient teaching that says, "The true light not only illuminates the path, it warms the soul and dispels inner shadows." And that is exactly what John Miller felt when he encountered a light so intense and welcoming that it seemed to envelop every fragment of his being. It was not merely an external brightness, but a warm energy, as if the very ancient Buddhist secrets were pulsating within it. This light was not like the one we see at dawn. It was the living presence of ancient wisdom, bringing a profound sense of well-being and filling John with a peace that transcended any earthly understanding. The light appeared to carry the properties of a natural remedy, an invisible elixir of spiritual healing that dissolved fear, guilt, and the judgments he had carried as silent burdens on his life's journey. While permeated by this celestial light, John had the sensation that he was being purified by a natural detoxification process as powerful as the most effective herbal medicine practices. Every ray that passed through his essence brought a touch of rejuvenation, as if secrets of youth were being breathed directly into his spirit. At that moment, he remembered the health tips we often neglect amid the daily hustle: the importance of self-care, mental clarity, and increasing energy through healthy morning and night routines. The light taught him without words that true alternative medicine resides in the connection with the source of life, where mindfulness becomes natural and the balance between body and spirit is gently restored. John realized, like a disciple who finally understands his master's teachings, that this light was not only a spiritual phenomenon, but also a silent invitation to adopt a healthy lifestyle in his earthly existence. It was as if every cell of his body were being touched by deep self-care practices, such as applying herbal remedies for skin rejuvenation or consuming superfoods for life extension. This holistic, healing experience showed him that the true secret to anti-aging is not found solely in external products, but in the spiritual nourishment we cultivate through meditation, the pursuit of well-being, and the quest for organic, complete health. The light enveloped him like a mantle of compassion and rebirth, preparing him for the next steps in his transformation. During his out-of-body experience, John was led to something that few dare to imagine, yet which is deeply aligned with Buddhist wisdom: a review of his own life. Like a Buddhist monk who, at the end of each meditation, mentally revisits his actions and intentions to purify his karma, John relived every moment of his existence, feeling not only the consequences of his choices, but also the deep emotions of the people who had crossed his path. Traditional medicine teaches us that emotions are not merely passing feelings, but genuine remedies or poisons for our holistic health. In that instant, he understood that his kind words had been like natural remedies for the souls of others, while his omissions had created small wounds in the invisible fabric of human relationships. This understanding brought him a mental clarity that even the best-kept secrets of herbal medicine could not offer. He perceived with the acuity of a sage who sees beyond appearances that every act of compassion he had practiced was like a superfood for another's soul. It was as if he were applying health tips for the spirit, helping to promote the rejuvenation of the invisible skin of the soul that we all carry. Buddhist monks have always taught that our actions are seeds sown in the vast field of the universe. And there, in that life review, John saw those seeds either blossoming or withering based on his past choices. He felt in his very being the importance of daily self-improvement, self-care, and the constant search for a healthy lifestyle that transcends the material and touches the realm of spiritual health. The ancient wisdom present in that moment revealed that the detoxification of the body begins with the cleansing of intentions and the feelings we nurture in our hearts. Perhaps the most powerful lesson was understanding that the journey toward well-being is not limited to morning routines or the use of traditional remedies. It is above all found in daily interactions, in the small acts of kindness that amplify the flow of positive energy in the world. John learned, as an attentive disciple of his master's teachings, that every choice of compassion or neglect reverberates beyond time, shaping his own life extension and that of everyone around him. These waves of energy, like an invisible detox, cleanse or contaminate the spiritual atmosphere of our existence. Inspired by this profound revelation, he felt a renewed impulse to integrate the alternative medicine of everyday kindness, cultivating health and well-being, not only for himself, but for all those whose lives his journey touched. On his spiritual journey, John was graced with a revelation that powerfully echoes the teachings of Buddhist wisdom: the invisible impact of every choice. Just as a Buddhist monk contemplates the interconnectedness of all beings during meditation, John realized that his decisions, even the smallest ones, created waves that spread infinitely across the vast ocean of existence. It was as if every positive action he took functioned as an herbal remedy for the collective soul, strengthening not only his own well-being journey but also promoting the spiritual healing of others around him. This realization was as clear as the morning light, illuminating the secrets of youth hidden within the daily habits of self-care and longevity. By understanding this cascading effect, John saw how his wrong choices had also left deep marks, like accumulated toxins that required a natural detoxification process. It was as if he were witnessing a living lesson in alternative medicine, where traditional remedies alone are not enough. It is essential to practice mindfulness so that small carelessness do not become great spiritual ills. In that moment, he viscerally understood the importance of a healthy lifestyle, not just for the physical body, but for the extension of the spiritual life that we all seek. He felt that every conscious decision was like adding superfoods to his soul's diet, enriching it with vitamins of compassion, mental clarity, and the rejuvenation of the emotional skin that covers our essence. John, like a disciple who finally grasps the value of his master's guidance, understood that everyday choices, from the most intimate thoughts to the most obvious actions, are instruments of holistic health transformation. He realized that following the health tips of the ancient sages, such as maintaining a morning routine of gratitude or a nightly practice of deep meditation, was not merely self-care, but a practical way to amplify collective well-being. Just as the Buddhist secrets of longevity teach us to care for the body as a temple, John learned to safeguard his vital energy, promoting detoxification of both body and spirit. And with that, he saw clearly that no choice is too small, for everyone contributes to the grand tapestry of life and the holistic healing we so earnestly seek. In the vastness of experience that transcends the limits of physical existence, John found something that Buddhist monks have always considered one of the most precious secrets of ancient wisdom: the eternal connection between beings who love one another. Amid the soft glow of that spiritual dimension, he reunited with his dearly departed loved ones, as if the traditional medicine of the soul had finally restored a bond that had never been broken. The silent embrace of these relatives brought an unmistakable sense of holistic healing, a true journey of emotional well-being that soothed invisible wounds accumulated over the years. It was as if, in that instant, the herbal remedies that so fervently strive to promote skin rejuvenation transformed into spiritual balms, nourishing the deepest roots of his being with vitamins of love, understanding, and acceptance. John could feel, with the clarity of one who practices mindfulness in its purest form, that these loved ones had always been present, even when, immersed in the distractions of modern life, he had been unable to perceive their silent company. Like a Buddhist monk who recognizes the vital force in the elements of nature, he understood that their love flowed like a gentle river, offering longevity tips for the soul, patience, compassion, and the daily practice of emotional self-care. These illuminated presences appeared as wise teachers whispering that spiritual health depends not only on external practices, but also on the deep acceptance of connections that transcend time and space. It was as if a natural detox was taking place, freeing John from the chains of isolation and filling him with an increase in vital energy that only genuine love can provide. In that blessed reunion, John felt his soul receiving a revitalizing bath of light, as powerful as the best-kept Buddhist secrets about life extension. The energy flowing from his loved ones seemed like a perfect blend of natural remedies and spiritual wisdom, as if every happy memory, every teaching shared in the past, were a superfood for his well-being journey. It was the alternative medicine of the soul in its purest expression, a natural healing therapy based on loving presence, on the recognition of family roots, and on the understanding that we never walk alone. John realized with a clarity born of deep mindfulness that his choices and actions throughout his life resonated with the timeless teachings of the ancient masters. He understood that, just as a Buddhist monk reviews his actions to cleanse his karma, every compassionate act he performed had sown seeds that enriched not only his own journey, but also the spiritual well-being of others. In that profound moment of self-reflection, he recognized that the journey toward holistic health is a continuous process, a process that begins with breaking the cycle of isolation and embracing traditional remedies of compassion, kindness, and acceptance.